rotation stuff that we kind of were talking about a little bit yesterday, specifically Malik, Keon. Curious from your perspective when you're going through the process of figuring all this out, how much do you look at and consider sort of lowering the minutes of everybody else in order to make more room for the guards there and play everybody, or what is the challenges that come with trying to figure that out?
Yeah, there's a lot of challenges. I mean, you can't play everybody. It's just the nature of what it is. This isn't participation. This is professional sports, and it's right now we have a log jam, but everyone's in play. I mean, um, if someone isn't playing great, there's a really good chance that someone's going to play. If someone isn't playing to our standard of competitiveness, of all the different things that we value, then obviously there's a strong possibility that they're going to come out the game.
Coach, as somebody that took a lot of pride in playing defense, what do you like about the kind of gritty way that Ime Udoka's Rockets team play defense?
Just watching MA and how they get down. Part of it is be ready to scrap because it's always a strong possibility that that's there. I respect that. It's an in-your-face style. I don't really know a different way. So that, for me, that is a lot of kudos to what I see from what he's chose to establish and how he's gone about it, and it's obviously worked because he's been highly successful.
Doug, kind of going back to what Brendan was asking, is there moments when you're looking down the bench and you're having trouble scoring there in the fourth quarter, and you look at Malik Monk and you think, well, maybe, or is it just like?
Well, I mean, at that point, he's been sitting for hours, but like we're talking about offense, and to be honest with you, I thought the defensive effort, the intensity, the physicality, the rebounding, all those things were up. We've obviously had scoring, and we were 5 and whatever we were, so that didn't work. So for me, leaning on defense, and as we build towards the greatness that I see here, defense has to be the standard that we set. Offensively, that will come because a lot of times your defense creates your offense. What I do know is if you play no defense, you're taking the ball out of bounds and you're facing a set defense. So that's exponentially harder. So for me, defense first. So we want, and I understand all the different things that go on with the team, but we have to play to a standard that allows us to compete. And in these last 2 games, and that doesn't have anything to do with Malik. This was just as far as how many guards and all those things, we chose to go in a different direction for the time being. That doesn't mean he's out of the rotation and all those things. He could be in very well tonight. We'll see. But whoever hits that floor, we want you to play with a certain level of physicality, intensity, all those things. And there's going to be ups and downs, but when it comes to the bulk of it, we don't want multiple mistakes and all those things. Play with heart, intensity, focus, for the name on the front, not the name on the back.
Coach, you've talked all season about basketball also being fun. You guys have lost a couple of tough ones. We see Dylan expressing his fun to the crowd. What's your message been to the team in that regards through this stretch?
Well, my message to him, because I text with especially the youngsters, is to have fun. Because I've told you guys, this is a child's game. It's played at a professional level, but that joy, it should never be lost. And when I see him, I just say, yeah, man, that right there is what it's all about. Because he's playing with heart, he's playing with intensity, but at the same time, you can still have fun. And make no mistake about it, it's fun to beat the hell out of people. So know that. Yeah.
Here we go, talking about offense again. With Nick Clifford specifically, he hit his first 3 shots last night, all 3 of them from all 3 levels. It seems like he's getting more comfortable finding his fit and his flow in the offense. I know he's kind of a Swiss Army knife type player. Just what have you seen from him learning the right spots and the right times in the league?
Oddly enough, I think his confidence has come from his defense. So you asked an offensive question, but I'll take it back because his physicality, chesting his man, not letting his man get straight line drives, learning more about what to do on splits, how to guard them, locking overs, lock and unders, all the different things that allows him to stay in front of his guy. I think that that's built confidence in him. He's an exceptional rebounder for a guard position. He was in college, and we still see him doing it here. When he grabs that rebound, we want him to bring it. And in transition, his athleticism, his touch allows him to score at all three levels, and we want him to be aggressive. But in my opinion, it's come from the confidence that he's garnered on the defense that then is translated into his offense.
Hey, Doug, when you've got Keegan starting at the three, Precious and Max on
Yes,
the
sir.
front line,
Yep.
It's great for him because he doesn't have to guard or defend up. But because of his defensive versatility, 1 through 5 at times throughout his career, what kind of variables for you go into thinking, okay, it's time to take him out of just guarding a standard 3 and stick him on, a 2 or a point or a 4 or a 5?
It still happens because he's our best defender. So you have to take that into consideration. It's just beating the hell out of the kid isn't like what you want to do. I mean, just because he can guard 1 through 5 doesn't mean that, sometimes people got to guard their damn man. Like, man up and guard your man. And then we can switch off and we can help you and we can do things. But, you got a man, they're listed too. So that's a thing. And just because he is talented in that area don't mean that we use him up constantly. And everyone's talking about the shots and different things. I totally understand. And part of that, in my opinion, is from someone who did what he does at the other end. Sometimes you go and you freaking rest. And we don't want him to necessarily do that. Does that mean we're going to back up from him and his responsibilities? No. But the better we get and the more talent we get on the perimeter for size and athleticism and the ability to guard will help him. And he needs some help.
Hey, Doug, over here. With a guy like Max, who's a sponge, as he gets more time and he's showing more, do you throw more at him, more on his plate, ask him to do more, anything like that in terms of game 1 versus game 27, 28?
Yeah, I think, good question. I think it kind of happens organically because part of it is you show him something and then you're waiting for the bit of mastery to happen before you try to throw something else on him. And then he asks the question. And when he asks the question, now he opened the door. When the door is open, then you go in. At least that's for me teaching and how I try to go about it. And then every once in a while, you try to throw something on him to see if there's a little pressure in how he comprehends it. Last night, it was, I grabbed him at half court and I was just like, yo, my man, what you think if you look at the rim? What you think that dude's going to do? He said, he's going to jump. I said, yeah. So let him jump and then, brace yourself and then go to the free throw line. And, but in the moment, that's hard to process all of that information. And for him, with a lot of responsibility and talent and all those things that come together, the responsibility goes with the talent. And he's highly skilled, highly talented, can do a lot of different things. And sometimes you're going to have to live with some of the mistakes that he does just because he's 7 foot and he can throw a behind the back pass and he can shoot the ball and then he can dribble the ball and then he can hand it off. But, it's part of the learning process that he goes through. And it's fun to watch, though. I'll tell you that for sure.
Coach Chris, what has been your message to the team as far as, shooting them threes? I know you always say, you got to get them up and things like that. Sometimes it seems like, it's kind of low energy there. It is. Sometimes, they're making every type of effort. But
you want to get to the paint. You want to spray the basketball out. My biggest thing isn't necessarily like, oh, take all the threes, because I've been here in the past and it's like, we want to shoot 53s and they got guys who, in my opinion, shouldn't be shooting freaking threes on a fast break when a man's about to get a layup and you shooting a 3. That's just me. I want to shoot threes, but also it's more about the passed up threes. And at the end of the night, do we got 7? Do we got 11? Do we got 12? Those are the ones that you got to take. So you look at the number at the end of the night, Tony, it's like 20, but we passed up 15. That is unacceptable because a shot created must be taken. If I create a shot for you, that meant I manipulated something. And if you don't take it, you're going to probably drive back or you're going to go back to the thing that I set up for you, which is not good for you on the drive. So if I create it, you got to take it. And a lot of times we pass those up. That's the unacceptable piece. Like, will we get more threes and all of that eventually? But just scored a bucket. In Portland, we got back in the game, not from threes, from just scoring the ball and putting pressure on them at the end. Last night, we shot a three that almost probably ended it. Just keep going to get a bucket sometimes, get a bucket. Because I know 3 is more than 2, but 2 is more than 0.
Anything else?
And a free throw. I'll add.
Sorry, last one.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Sorry to keep bringing up Malik, but my first question for you
Nothing
is,
to be sorry about. I love him.
did you have a conversation with him that he wasn't going to play before that first Portland game?
Yeah.
Okay, and how was he receptive to that?
I mean, he was fine. I mean, yeah. Listen, I've been in that position. Nobody, you don't want that. So, like, as a competitor, like, you want to be out there, you want to play. And like I said, everybody's in play. Even in that game, you're in play. It's just when he was playing, who was the odd man out? Keon. But now Keon's playing, he's the odd man out. It's just mathematics. It ain't nothing personal. This job is a different animal. But I ain't ducking nothing. I'm here, and we're gonna figure it out. And when we do, then pettiness will rise to the top.
Thanks, everyone.
Appreciate y'all.